Has anybody had a job they actually liked? If so, what was it? I was a toy designer for about 45 years and loved it. I designed the first 12 Star Wars figures and a bunch of Hot Wheels. I'm retired now and painting. Everyone, there's a legend walking among us. Toy design is my dream job. How does one get into something like that? My degree was in automotive design. Ford and Ferrari made offers, but a headhunter in NYC called and asked if I would be interested in toys. Kenner's offer was better, so I took it. Automotive design certainly must have helped with the Hot Wheels. Yeah, I figure working for Hot Wheels must be 10x better for a designer than working for an auto manufacturer. Hey, how would you like for your individual designs to hit the assembly line every year, just as you envisioned them, with zero concessions needed for things like focus groups, NHTSA, DOT, etc.? Also, at the end of the day, you'll actually be able to afford to own as many copies of your creation as you'd like. Plus no car recalls. Make a note, boys, this was back in the day when simply having a degree attracted headhunters and multiple job offers. This is a pipe dream today. Yeah, the things I hear older generations say. I just walked into their office and asked for a job and they gave me one. The owner of the company saw a spark in me and trained me up for the job. I talked them into giving me a job even though I didn't have any qualifications. I worked hard, they took notice and gave me a promotion. Younger generations, I sent out hundreds of resumes for jobs I'm qualified for and got a call back from 5 but didn't make it through to the final round of interviews. I sent out hundreds of resumes for jobs I'm qualified for and got a call back from 5 but didn't make it through to the final round of interviews. That is almost a carbon copy of what happened to me. There was a major industry employer in the area that moved away just as I left college. All of the supply chains, contractors, etc. basically left the area, leaving a huge number of seekers applying for a smaller number of openings. I had 112 applications sent out over 6 months, 7 of which responded, 2 with interviews. Those 2 roles were recruited from within, so it was pretty much purely for interview experience on my part and fulfilling a checkbox on theirs. Thankfully I got a job in the industry in the end, but that was through a recruiter via an online job website and not one of my applications. When I was in high school, I worked at an amusement park called Kings Island. There was a ride called Whitewater Canyon. They had me sit in this shed back in the woods and I'd get to launch water cannons at people as they floated by on their boats. It was the best job ever. I would sit back there eating snacks and drenching people. I'm an electrician now, I like it just fine, but nothing compares to the water cannon job. Of all the replies, this one takes the cake. Getting paid to blast people with a water cannon sounds awesome. I mentioned this in a similar AskReddit thread a while ago, but the Bronx Zoo's lemur exhibit used to have a walkway that was not fully enclosed. So the lemurs could get really close to people if they got curious. The zoo apparently decided the best short-term solution was to hire a kid with a squirt gun to blast them if they got too close to visitors. The lemurs would run away frantically when the water hit them. Imagine having a full-time job just squirting primates with a squirt gun. It'd be like an IRL video game every day. At industrial manufacturing plants with giant furnaces, they need some way to clean the soot that builds up over time. The way my father's plant handled this was to hire 2 hillbillies to sit around drinking with shotguns and periodically shoot the inside of the furnace. It's all about the people and the management. Your job could be scooping shit and digging ditches, but if the people you work with are awesome, you have a boss who supports you and wants to you do well at work and beyond, and you have good benefits, that's a great job. I had the same conversation a few days ago when asked why I was leaving my job. I once read that people don't leave jobs, they leave bosses, management. Or follow them. LOL. My boss left, and when a position opened up a couple months later, I took it. Best decision I ever made. This hits the nail on the head. I work for a company like this, enjoying the work is just the icing on the cake. Every job has that really bad day or week. Every job. What makes you want to leave or start looking for another job is how that bad day or week is handled by the company and handled by you. A company not supporting you through a tough day or week is great motivation to start looking. The other side is experience. I dealt with bad days that when I was younger really made me want to quit. Bad days that today wouldn't even bother me cause that's just work. I'm a sign language interpreter. I love my work. This is so cool. Care to elaborate a bit on how you got into this occupation? I kind of stumbled into it actually. I took an ASL class in college and loved it. After a certain level, you had to join the interpreting program to keep taking upper-level ASL classes, so I switched my major from creative writing to interpreting, and the rest is history. This will be my 10th year as an interpreter. I am nationally certified, so the pay is good and my day is always interesting. I meet tons of cool people and get to experience all kinds of different things. My main work is in employment and medical settings, job interviews, doctor's appointments, etc. That is great. Love hearing people do well. Thanks for sharing. I have a friend who sidelines as an emergency sign language interpreter. She gets called a lot to jails and hospitals and gets very depressed. It would be challenging to so frequently try to help people when they are struggling or at their worst. Our term for this is vicarious trauma, and it is very real. I've experienced it myself. I don't mean to say the work is always sunshine and rainbows, but it is satisfying, rewarding, and definitely challenging. I hope your friend has the supports she needs to process the hard parts of the work. I was a chef for years. I loved it. The staff. The chaos. Cooking was fun. Until it wasn't. It's a young man's game. Had to move into an office, but I miss it and have been able to help out friends on occasion to get a fix of the elements I missed. Non-stop cranking out at food during the Saturday night rush and the feeling when the last ticket goes out and you have your shift beers. I miss that. Waking up the morning of your second double in a row and knowing you had to work another double tomorrow. That was tough. Don't miss that. Don't worry. There's this aspiring guy on YouTube who's making a lot of shorts on kitchen tips and tricks. I think he's called Gordon Ramsay or something. Even though he's a bit older, he shows a lot of talent. He might even become a professional chef at one point or have his own restaurant. You can always get back into the kitchen. It's never too late to follow your dreams. Gordon Ramsay? Is that the guy who had that show where he went around to successful restaurants to ask them for advice? Please like and subscribe for more daily content. I publish new videos daily, otherwise please feel free to check out another video. Thanks for watching.